Zeke.
Kaylee, so for attendees at this rally, the campaign is requiring them to sign a waiver to waive them of liability, acknowledging that there's an assumed risk with going to that rally. Does not the president have some responsibility himself to ensure, to set an example for the nation to stop, to prevent these larger gatherings or ensuring social distancing, so that the American people, and people around the world for that matter, follow his example and preserve the most safe environment? Why is the president not following CDC guidance in doing that?
We are doing temperature checks, hand sanitizers, masks. When you come to the rally, as if any event, you assume a personal risk. That is just what you do. When you go to a baseball game, you assume a risk. That's part of life. It's the personal decision of Americans as to whether to go to the rally or whether not to go to the rally. But I would note that this concern for the rallies has been largely absent when it came to the protesters. People really note when CBS says thousands participate in a rally and a silent march for Black trans lives, and then this is more than an hour and a half later, President Trump moving ahead with the rally, serious risk of spreading coronavirus. It's really inconsistent. The media seems to not be interested in health so much as ideology behind certain events. So, for instance, you go and the lockdown protesters were widely condemned by the media who were protesting the lockdown, but then all of a sudden this protest for Black Lives Matter is lauded. It makes no sense. Ideology is driving the line of questioning in many of these cases, when it should be, if you're focused on science, you should be out there asking these same questions about
Kaylee, public health officials here, local officials, mayors in many of the cities where there have been protests, have encouraged those who attended those large gatherings and others to get tested 4 or 5 days after their attendance at the event. Does the president want attendees at his own rally on Saturday to get tested 4 or 5 days later to make sure that they didn't get the virus there? And who should they inform if they do come down with the virus after the rally?
It's their personal decision as to whether they want to get tested after, but I'd note testing capability is thanks to President Trump. 23.7 million people tested in this country so far. That's an extraordinary number. So testing's out there and available if someone chooses to do that.
Sorry, just one more. Excuse me. Has the White House been monitoring this outbreak of violence between Indian and Chinese troops? And does the White House have any reaction? Is the president getting on the phone and talking to the relevant countries there?
So the president is aware of it. We're monitoring the situation between Indian and Chinese forces along the line of actual control in eastern Ladakh. So we've seen that the Indian Army statement that 20 Indian soldiers died as a result of the confrontation today, and we extend our deepest condolences on that. Jen.